Here I am at the Pennsylvania School Counseling Association Conference with Joshua Steckel. Joshua is author of Hold Fast to Your Dreams and is also a school counselor in New York City and works with low socioeconomic students in his role as a school counselor. And Josh, could you tell me a little bit, what are some barriers that when you're working with that particular group of students that you might run into?
I think that for many students and for their families, I think that it's sometimes hard to imagine that college and other post-secondary opportunities are possible or are available to them for a host of reasons. I think that students and families worry a lot about affordability. They worry a lot about having a sense of connection between educational pathways and the career pathways that they would like to pursue. And I think also that in a lot of ways the process of applying, of securing aid is so daunting that it can be something that's really hard to do alone. And so I think that more than anything, young people need to know that they have adults who are their advocates, who can support them, and who can stand with them and imagine possible future pathways that students sometimes might not otherwise be able to see themselves.
Mm-hmm. And working as a school counselor, can you tell me, give me an example of maybe a particular time or situation where helping someone was particularly rewarding to you, something that sticks out in your mind in your career so far?
Well, in the way that I really feel so appreciative of having had the chance to speak with the Pennsylvania School Counselors Association today and tell stories about many of my students that have stuck with me and shaped my practice and thinking as a counselor, but have also, shaped who I am as a person. There's a number of students who really do stick with me and whose stories have impacted me in a lasting way. One of the students that I can think of is a young man named Michael, and I learned that he had lost his home over the course of my work with him in our first year together. And when we went through the college process together, and he was in a position where he had choices to leave and attend college outside of New York City, and to do that in a way that was funded and supported, or stay here and support his family. I think that it was early in my career, and I felt like this was a young man who needed to go, that had to be the right solution. And I remember as I grew as a counselor and a person, thinking about this young man who had, in many ways, had so many things that were really hard, and had done so many things right, and yet was caught in a position where he still had to make a heart-rending decision between staying here and supporting his family and continuing to live in circumstances that were really difficult, or making a choice to leave that behind and try, in a way that might be risky, to see what this other possibility offered for him. And what I learned as a counselor was how important it is for me not to use my own value systems and assumptions to guide students, but really just try to hear and be there for them at moments that are really difficult.
Okay, so the last question I want to ask you is, do you have any advice for school counselors who may be working with students who are low socioeconomic or have other kinds of barriers that will get in the way of them thinking about some of their post-secondary options?
I think it's really important for counselors to know that, especially for students who are from low-income families or who are first in their families to go to college, they may be managing a lot of other obstacles outside of their life at school. And one of the most critical things that counselors can offer is the reliability of an adult that they're seeing every day, who they know believes in their possibility, sort of helps them see value and find meaning in their educational experiences. And I think there's nothing more important than for a young person to have adults who are willing to stand with them and look forward into the future with them and help them see possibilities.
All right, well, hey, thank you very much. It's great having you here in Pennsylvania, and you did a great job on your presentation today, and we'll look forward to maybe seeing you again.
Terrific. Thanks so much, Mike.